Hello, baseball fans. King Ichaboo coming to you live from the underground bunker with Tiny Archibald from Kansas City, from the fountains in Kansas City, where we're sitting in the fountains broadcasting to you this game, Game 2 of the Final Four of the Kansas City Madness Tournament, the 1982 Royals at the 1981 Royals. Game 1, if you watch that one, was won by the 82s, the second seed. They won 2-1. The hero of the game, Hal McRae, hit the 2-run homer. Was all the runs that the 82s would need and get. And now we're going to Game 2. If 82s can win this game, they will advance to the Kansas City Championship against the 1988 Royals, the fourth seed. They await the winner. So today's pitcher for the visiting 1982s is Vida Blue. He's been great in this tournament. He's 2-0, 2.38 ERA. In real life, he was 16-11, 378. And in the 80s replay, he was 12-13, 332. And it's the second time in a row where Larry Gura starts for the visiting or for the home team. This time it's 81 Larry Gura. He's been outstanding as well. He's 2-0, 159. In real life, he was 11-8, 272, and in the 80s replay was 17-5, 290. So if the 81s win this game, they will force a Game 3, and they will have to send Rich Gale to the mound. He's okay, but he has an M, which means he gives up a lot of home runs. So can he avoid the doubles in the second column? And a lot of doubles will turn into home runs. So, but that's the hill they must climb if they want to advance to the championship. We're going to introduce to you the 1982 Royals once again, leading off, playing center field, Willie Wilson batting second, the right fielder Amos Otis batting third baseman George Brett batting fourth, the hero of Game 1, the designated hitter Hal McRae batting fifth, the first baseman Willie Aikens batting sixth, the second baseman, Frank White, batting seventh. The shortstop, UL Washington, batting eighth. The left fielder, Jerry Martin, batting ninth. The catcher, John Wathen. And we'll face Larry Gura. He's an 11-1. That means he doesn't downgrade from a B until the sixth inning. He'll be at a B grade till the sixth, and then he'll go to a C, and he'll be at the C until the start of the eighth inning. And then he'll downgrade to a D at that point. So he has a potential going a long way. He also has a Z, which means he doesn't give up many walks. And you can see so far in the tournament, he's pitched 17 innings, only given up 11 hits, walked 4. So that's a very good whip. What is that whip? We'll go to the 81s. We can see his whip for Larry Gura has been .88. In this tournament, he struck out 7. Willie Wilson's leading off. He's batting 182. In Game 1, he was 1 for 4. Here's the pitch to Willie Wilson. Chance at an error, no error. Amos Otis batting 318. 2 homers, 2 RBIs. Game 1, he was 0 for 4. He had an offer. Here's the pitch to Amos Otis. Chance at an error. Oh, this time it's an error. You had to roll an 11. And that's exactly what they rolled, snake eyes. And let's see the error. The error is on George Brett. And therefore, Amos Otis is on base. He really doesn't have that great a chance of stealing, but he's a fast runner. Here's the other George Brett. George Brett, 1982. He's batting 217 with no homers and 3 RBIs. He scored one of the runs. He was 1 for 4 in Game 1. Here's the pitch to Mr. Royal. Flies out. Hal McRae, the hero, batting 316, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. He's slugging .842 in the tournament with 2 out. Here's the pitch to McRae, and hits into a fielder's choice. Here's the 1981 Royals. Very similar batting order. Leading off, playing center field, Willie Wilson, batting second. The left fielder, Amos Otis, batting third. The third baseman, George Brett, batting fourth, Willie Aikens at first base. Batting fifth, the DH, Hal McRae. They just switched fourth and fifth. Batting sixth, just like the other team, Frank White at the second baseman. Batting seventh, Geronimo is in right field, although he gets replaced, and Clint Hurdle comes in for him after the fifth inning. He's batting seventh, batting eighth, the shortstop, UL Washington, and batting ninth, the catcher, John Wathan. Here's Vida Blue. He's got a 10-3 rating, which means he has a B rating until inning number 3 when he goes down to a C. And then after the 6th inning, after 2 base runners, he goes down to a D. And if he's still at a C when we reach the 8th, he cuts off and goes to a D for sure. He has a Y, which means he strikes out quite a few batters, but he has a terrible W. And you can see that. He walked 5 batters in 11 innings, so he gives up quite a few walks. So definitely the 81s have the pitching advantage in this game. Here's Willie Wilson. He's batting .250. Game 1, he had an offer. And he flies out. Amos Otis. In Game 1, he was 2 for 4. He was the leading hitter for the 81s. He's now batting .421. He flies out. George Brett, batting .182. He had an offer. Not living up to the legendary George Brett. And he has a chance at an error. No error. And there's 1, 2, 3. Go the 81s in the first inning. Go to the top of the second. And once again, the 82s are at the plate. Willie Aikens batting .450. Game 1, he was 2 for 4. And that's why he's got a good batting average, .450 in the tournament. Pitch to Gura, or from Gura to Aikens, is a ground out to short. Frank White, .250 batting average. In Game 1, he was 0 for 3 with a walk. He's batting .250. Here's the roll. He walks again. He will not try to steal. UL Washington, 0 for 1, .056 batting average. He was 0 for 3 with a walk in Game 1. And he almost gets a hit, but Gura takes it away. So White advances the second. He's now in scoring position for Jerry Martin. Jerry Martin was 2 for 2 in Game 1, but he was still taken out for Cesar Geronimo because he's a very poor fielder. Here is the pitch. Let's see if Jerry Martin can drive in the first run of the game with 2 out here in the second inning. He strikes out. Bottom of the second, Willie Aikens. He's batting .500. In Game 1, he was 1 for 3 with a walk. The pitch to Willie Aikens. Ground out to short. Hal McRae, the other Hal McRae, he was 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored in Game 1. And he's batting .278 in the tournament. And he flies out. Frank White, .286, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. He was 1 for 4 in Game 1. Chance at an error, no error. And that's it. 2 complete. We're still scoreless. John Wathan, batting .214. In Game 1, he was 0 for 3. The pitch to Wathan flies out. Willie Wilson, he popped out first time. Flies out this time. Amos Otis reached on an error by George Brett. And this time he grounds out to short. So it's after 2.5, it's still scoreless. Here's Cesar Geronimo. Geronimo in the first game, he was 0 for 2. Then he was pulled for Clint Hurdle, who was also 0 for 2. He's batting .071. And he strikes out. UL Washington batting .278. Game 1, he was 1 for 4 with an RBI. The only RBI for the 81s. The pitch to UL, he's got no homers and that 1 RBI from Game 1. And he should have had a hit, but it was taken away by Vida Blue. I'd like to see what Vida Blue's ratings would be for 1971. They must have been awesome. He pops out to George Brett for the second out. Here's Wathan. He's batting .429. No homers, 2 RBIs in Game 1. He was 1 for 2 before he got pulled for Jerry Grody. And he gets a base hit. The first base hit of the game. He's going to try to steal. Doesn't get the jump. Going to put the brakes on Wathan, and he can try to score on a double. Willie Wilson flied out first time up. And he walks. 2 men on for Amos Otis. He flied out first time up. He's batting .400. No breaks on Wathan. He's going to try to score on a base hit with 2 out. Here's the pitch. And he hits into a fielder's choice, which ends the 3rd inning. We're still scoreless. 82s don't even have a hit. Here's George Brett. He flied out first time up. Pops out this time. Hal McRae. First time up, he hit into a fielder's choice. This time he walks. 50-50 chance he won't try to steal. Willie Aikens grounded out to short. And he hits into a double play. 5-4-3. Brett, White, Aikens. And the 4th inning is over for the 82s. Here's the bottom of the 4th. The 81s. George Brett. He grounded out first time up. Grounds out again. Willie Aikens grounded out as well. Hits a double. Double 1 means Aikens is on second. We're going to check all restrictions. Don't want him to try to steal a base. We don't want him to try to get thrown out at the plate. Hal McRae flew out first time up. Strikes out this time. Now we'll take the restrictions off. And he can try to steal with 2 out. Frank White flew out first time up. He walks. 2 men on with 2 outs. Cesar Geronimo struck out first time up. He batting .067. And he hits into a fielder's choice after 4 complete. No score. 82 still haven't got a hit. Here's Frank White trying to rectify that. He has walked. He grounds out. UL Washington. Ground out to Brett. It reaches on an error by his fellow toothpick man on the other team, Washington. So one Washington allows an error to the other Washington. Here's Jerry Martin. Probably his last time he's going to bat today. He struck out first time. UL will try to steal. Doesn't get the jump. Flies out. 2 out now. Washington on first for John Wathan. He flew out first time up. And he hits to a fielder's choice. Still no hits for the 82s. Go to the bottom of the 5th. 81's up. Vida Blue. Both these pitchers still have to go, even if they get tired. So we saw that this is it's still 5th inning only. Okay. This adjustment happens in the 6th. Here's Washington. He popped out to Brett first time up. Strikes out. That's 3 strikeouts for Vida Blue. Here's John Wathan. He singled. One of the 2 81 hits. And he grounds out this time. Willie Wilson walked and flew out. And this time he gets a base hit. Yes, he will try to steal. He doesn't get the jump. Almost gets thrown out. Here's Amos Otis. He's 0 for 2. And he strikes out. After 5 complete, we're still scoreless. Larry Gura still throwing a no-hitter here in the 6th inning. Willie Wilson is now up. He is 0 for 2, like probably most of the 82s are. Here's the pitch to Willie Wilson. No chance of a hit. Could be an error. No error. Fouls out to Brett. Amos Otis reached on an error and ground to short. He hits a foul ball. The tension builds. Pops out to Brett. Lots of pop out to Brett in this game. Foul out or pop out? What's the difference? Not much difference there. Here's Brett trying to get the first hit for his team. He's 0 for 2. Flies out through 6 innings. Gura still pitching a no-hitter. Here's Vida Blue. Bottom of this. Now this adjustment begins. So all he has to do is give up 2 base runners and he will become tired. Here's George Brett trying to become the first base runner. He's grounded out twice. He grounds out again. Here's Willie Aikens. He's doubled one of the 3 81 hits. He's 1 for 2. Chance at an error. Flies out to center. No error. Here's Hal McRae. He struck out and flied out. Grounded out through 6 complete. We're scoreless. Here's Larry Gura. Now, sometimes it works. He will remain a C even past his adjustment as long as he doesn't give up a hit, but we'll see if it works. Here's Hal McRae. He is 0 for 2. He's 0 for 1. He's walked. How many walks? Gura has only walked 2. He struck out 1. He walked, and he hit into a fielder's choice. The tension builds. Here's Hal McRae. Grounds out to short. Here's Willie Aikens. He's 0 for 2, hitting to a double play last time up. Grounds out to short. Lots of ground balls from Larry Gura. Here's Frank White. He's walked. One of the 2 walks given up by Gura and grounded out. Boy, we could count out the ground outs in this game. Here's the pitch to Frank White. Struck him out. End of the 7th. Gura's still pitching a no-hitter. Here's Vida Blue. He's trying to match him. Pitch for pitch. He's given up 3 hits, however. Walked 2, struck out 4. He gives up 2 base runners. He's going to become tired. Here's Frank White. He's walked and flew out to right field. Chance of an error. No error. Ground out to the first baseman unassisted. Okay, so Cesar, you're done. Cesar Geronimo's coming out, and we're going to bring in Clint Hurdle. Clint Hurdle comes in. He is 0 for 2 in the tournament. But he's very, very good. Here's the pitch to Clint Hurdle. Double for Clint Hurdle. He's on second base. We'll put the brakes on Hurdle. Larry Gura's hoping for a run. Here's UL Washington, 0 for 2. The pitch to UL. He walks. Vida Blue gives up 2 base runners, and now he is tired. He will not take away any hits anymore. He will strike out a few more batters, but he will also walk. That's a bad combination. Why don't I relieve him? Because he has not given up a run. I've played that way for 8 years in the other project. That project will be 8 years old on Saturday. November 11th is when I started, 2015, and I've been playing this way all the way. It was a reaction against these. I just hate in real life when the guy's pitching a shutout and they take him out of the game. The guy should be allowed to throw a shutout. But these pitchers are trigger happy, but not here in King Ichaboo land. Even though he's tired, he has not given up a run. Therefore, he has to stay in the ball game. Now here is this Mr. Double Play? Is it the 81, John Wathen? 82, John Wathen he hit into 26 double plays. How about 81, John Wathen? Only 9, although he only had 300. So that's in a full season, that's 18. Doesn't pay to bunt though, because it's 1 out. So he's going to swing away, or what we can do is take him out of the game. Bring in Jerry. How many double plays did Jerry Grody hit into? 1 in 62 plate appearances. He's trying to get a run for his pitcher. 1 out. We'll put the brakes on Hurdle unless we bring in a fast runner. Someone he's not a very good fielder. Lee May is slow. Darryl Motley is fast. Yes, we're going to bring in Darryl Motley. He's a fast runner. And so basically any base hit he's going to score. There's even some roles where he may score from second on like a fly ball. You never know. So here's Jerry Grody. He's batting 500 in the tournament. Looking to get a run for his pitcher. Here's the pitch to Jerry Grody. Hits it to a double play. And the inning's over through 7 complete. The score, 1981, no runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. And the 1982's, no runs, no hits, no errors. Here's Gura back to the mound. He's got no run support. He's going to face UL Washington. Washington's over 2. He reached on an error by the other Washington. So here's the pitch to UL Washington. He gives up a walk. Walk number 3. He's going to try to steal. He steals second base. Washington is at second base. We said we'd take out Jerry Martin. And that's what we do. Cesar Geronimo comes into the game. He's a much better fielder. He's a better hitter. Although you wouldn't tell from his batting average in the tournament. He's 0 for 6. Larry Gura facing the lefty Cesar Geronimo. Here's the pitch. Ground out. He grounds out to first. Gura covers. Runner to third. Can a fly ball will score a run? And Gura, instead of being ahead, he'll be behind. The infield is in. John Wathen the batter. He won't ground into a double play. He may fly into a double play on a fly ball. He tries to score, gets thrown out at the plate. That could happen, but he will not hit into a ground ball double play unless Washington is asleep at third base. But he's not. He's very much awake. Here is the pitch. John Wathan. And the no-hitter is over. Gura gives up and just like the game's supposed to, after he gives up a hit, he goes down to a D, and John Wathan drives in Cesar Geronimo from third base, and it's 1-0 1982. John Wathan will try to steal. He gets a stolen base as well. Okay, well, he can be relieved now. Gura's coming out of the game, and they're going to bring in one of these very good pitchers. We're going to bring in Jeff Schattinger. Jeff Schattinger is coming into the game. He's a 16-1 with an I. I is the greatest rating you can get, which means it's very, very difficult for him to give up a home run. All right. Here's Willie Wilson. 82s have their run. Can they hold it now? And remember, Vida Blue is tired. He cannot be relieved, not even for Dan Quisenberry. The tension mounts. Everybody in Kauffman Stadium. How many people fit in Kauffman Stadium? I don't even know. What, 45,000, 50,000? Each one of them is on the edge of their seats. John Wathan at second base. Willie Wilson at the plate. He's 0 for 3. Here's the pitch from Jeff Schattinger to Willie Wilson. Gives up a double 6. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. Normally double 6 could be, if he rolls, what happened to the screen? We'll bring it back up. That one back up. There. Somehow it went away. Okay, so if he hits a home run, 31. No, it's a triple. So you can't take a triple away. Willie Wilson hits into a triple, and it's 2-0. 1982. So Vida Blue has some insurance. Schattinger, you're supposed to be incredible. AI, I mean, you can't get much better than that. They're going to bring the infield in. Amos Otis hits into a double play, line out to third, steps on the bag. Willie Wilson was off the bag, and the inning is over, but the damage is done. Larry Gura was throwing a no-hitter. Instead of a no-hitter, he's now behind 2-0, going to the bottom of the 8th. Vida Blue cannot be relieved. 81s must come alive offensively or they're going to be eliminated. Willie Wilson walked, singled, and flied out. He is 1 for 2. Needs to get on base here. He doesn't. He flies out. Amos Otis 0 for 3. He gets on. He will... Oh, that 63 scares me. We're going to take a chance. Hope George Brett doesn't hit into a double play. How many double plays did George Brett hit into in 1981? He hit into 7 in 379 plate appearances. He has a 361, 484. He's hitting nothing like that in the tournament. It's time for George Brett to come alive. He doesn't have a pitcher that's going to take anything away, so he has a prime opportunity to do some damage. Here's the pitch from Vida Blue to George Brett. Base hit! Brett's on first. Amos Otis goes to third base. The tying runs are aboard for Willie Aikens, batting .476. He is 1 for 3 with a double. Vida Blue can do nothing besides just keep throwing the ball. Now, if Otis scores, he can be relieved. However, if it's an extra base hit, Brett might tie the game. Here is the pitch to Willie Aikens. Double play, Willie Aikens! Vida Blue gets out of that mess, and it's still, after 8 complete, 1982 2, 1981 nothing. Jeff Schattinger will stay on the mound to face George Brett. He's 0 for 3. Hit grounds out. Hal McRae. He is 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounds out. Willie Aikens. He is 0 for 3 with a double play. Ground out. Now we go to the bottom of the 9th. No Quisenberry. Only Vida Blue. Vida Blue has to stay out there because he's pitching a shutout. He's given up 6 hits. He has given up 3 walks. He has struck out 4. Vida Blue will face Hal McRae, Frank White, and they wish they still had Clint Hurdle, but now they have Darryl Motley. I don't think there's any other outfielders out here. Lee May is a first baseman. Jamie Quirk can play the outfield, so we might think about bringing Lee May to pinch hit for Darryl Motley if need be. He's a little bit better hitter. Motley's not much of a hitter. So we'll see what happens when we get there. But first, Hal McRae. He's batting .238. He is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout. Here's the pitch to Hal McRae. Flies out for the first out of the inning. Here's Frank White. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And yes, he doesn't have a great on-base percentage, but he has some pop. The pitch to Frank White. Grounds out. Okay, we said, though it'd be nice. Oh. No, we got to do what we said. Lee May's coming in. Quirk, he's average. So Lee May, if he gets on, we're going to bring in Quirk to pinch run for him. Lee May, 328, 345. The last batter, the last hope for the 81s. Vida Blue going for the shutout. Here's the pitch to Lee May. Gets the ground out. Vida Blue, what a performance. At first we thought all the attention was on Larry Gura, but in the end, Vida Blue is the one that pitches the shutout, a 6-hitter, as the 1982s advance to the championship series against 1988, the 4th seed. We have a 2 seed versus a 4 seed in the championship as the 82s win 2-0 behind the marvelous pitching. Vida Blue pitched like it was 1971 here today. So the only runs that were scored were in the 8th inning. And to refresh your memory, UL Washington walked. He stole second. Geronimo grounded out. Runner to from second to third. The infield was brought in. John Wathen singled. Larry Gura was pulled. We brought in Schattinger. And then Willie Wilson hit a triple for the second and insurance run. And then Amos Otis hit into a double play line out to end the inning. That was all the offense of this game. Here in 2 games, all we saw were 5 runs total between the 2 teams. Great pitching from the Kansas City Royals, both sides, but especially from Vida Blue. Vida Blue, you are our hero of the game. You were the hero of the game in the last game, if I remember right. No, he wasn't. It was Amos Otis. But he still pitched well and got the victory because he was 2-0 going into this here tournament or into this series. But so that is it. Thank you for tuning in to this exciting ball game. This is Tiny Archibald and King Ichaboo signing off from the fountains at Kauffman Stadium, where once again the 1982s advanced to the championship series. Winning this series, they're still undefeated, 6-0 in this tournament, as they defeated the 81s by a score of 2-0. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.